Welcome to Digital Horizons, the channel for marketers, entrepreneurs, and business owners who want actionable marketing advice and learn about the latest in AI marketing tools, digital marketing strategy, and trends. I'm your host, James Walker, and I'm joined by Brian Hastings.
Today we're going to be the squinting, the eye movements, the movements. Yeah,
it's learnt it from watching just 2 minutes of video. So
incredible. How are we going to believe political videos from now on, or anything from a celebrity? This is amazing. This is absolutely incredible. This is so good.
Today we're talking about AI avatar generation and just how fucking good it is. Like blown away. We've just tested this tool. So normally we look at some of these tools and we're like, hey, this is kind of cool. But this one is kind of like, it makes you a little bit worried about what the power of this is going to be in terms of the future.
In preparation for this episode, I looked at a few YouTube videos of people who have tried these avatars, and I could clearly tell it was an avatar of that YouTuber. This one is different. This one, I had to pause. I had to watch it through twice to spot the difference. This is a game changer.
Yeah. So, I mean, I showed a few people around the office today, and they just thought I was just showing them a video of myself, and they were wondering why, because I film a lot of content, and they're like, why are you showing me this? I've got better stuff to be doing right now. But this video is, I mean, what we're going to do is go through the process to understand how this was created, and then I guess talk about some use cases as to how we feel that this could be used in terms of, I mean, we're talking about AI, but we're also talking about digital marketing in general, and how this can impact your marketing campaigns. And then maybe we might finish on just some of, I guess, maybe the concerns and worries that might have about this kind of technology that we're looking at right now, because it is so powerful.
Yeah, my brain immediately goes to the positives of how we could use it for lead generation, course materials, staff training, video production at scale. There's so many potentials for it. Obviously, there's going to be political and wider society issues, but that's not where my brain immediately goes. So I'm so excited to get into it and share with you guys what this looks like.
Yeah. So, I mean, what we're talking about is a platform called HeyGen. It is a AI video avatar that you can create. And I just went through the process of setting this up, which you would have just seen in the opening here. And the process of doing it was so simple. So it literally took me less than 5 minutes to go from creating an account to having that video that you've just watched up and running. And so sign up for HeyGen. I think there's even a free trial that I was able to create this with. So it didn't even cost anything to see how the quality of what was going on. And then it just asked me to upload 2 minutes of video of me talking to the camera. So, I mean, being that we're creating content all the time, that was probably a little bit easier for myself because we've got a whole bunch of backlog of content that I was able to just pull from and upload. But it basically was me sitting in this chair where I am now, talking to the camera. So it's not like an avatar that you can just put wherever or anything. Like, that's the scene.
It's sure. You have a pre-recorded scene, and it will move your face and mouth and arms within that scene.
Correct. Yes. And I mean, that was one option. There was another option where you could actually be walking around, and it gave instructions as to how to film that content as well. And it had an example of a guy walking through a park or something, talking to a camera. And so that was also an option there, but I just went for what I already had available because I was trying to pull this together quite quickly.
That's incredible.
That's what's come about. In terms of the audio side of things, there was two options. I could either type out a script, and then it had all different, like, I mean, English, but it had all the different accents. So it could have done Australian English, American English, British, whatever, or any other language you can think of. I mean, we might put a clip of this in the video here and show what this video looks like with me talking in a different language to see how well it actually does that as well. I mean, it's going to look weird for me if I'm speaking Chinese in this video as well, and how it would be interesting to see how natural it looks.
I'm imagining Spanish Buzz Lightyear from Toy Story when they flick his switch.
Así es como se ve cuando hablo en español. Escribí este guión y se tradujo y generó el clip en un par de minutos.
So there was the option of the script, which is, I think, super powerful because that's where we'll get into the use cases, but that's where you could just generate content at scale. It has a direct plug-in to ChatGPT as well, so you didn't even have to write the content for yourself. And then you can create the video content, which is super cool. The option that I did to have my voice on there was I just recorded what I wanted the AI to say.
Yeah. And that probably helped with how natural it seemed and sounded. As opposed to some of the YouTube videos of AI avatars where they were using the dynamically audio generated stuff. But for the quality that came out of this using your pre-recorded, except for one cut, which I thought was a cut in the video, not a glitch.
So what I think that happened there, though, is I fumbled my words. Yeah. So I feel that it's because I was reading the script and recording it, and I sort of fumbled it a little bit. So I think that's why it glitched out a little bit, and it didn't. Well. But it cut it quite well. It could have just been a bad edit from. Yeah.
If you've ever watched Digital Horizons, they cut me about 35 times per sentence.
Well, that's it, because you got to re-say everything. Yeah. So it kind of makes it look a bit natural as well, rather than it sort of just glitching out. So I haven't tried the text to speech side of things, but I feel that if I actually typed it out, then that's going to be really smooth. Because it's just going to be reading out what was said there rather than trying to mimic what I was saying through the microphone.
You said it was really easy, but was there any part of it that didn't meet your expectations, or that was a bit, will the typical marketer find this to be a pretty easy process to do?
I think it'd be so simple. Anybody, you don't even need to be a marketer. If you got access to a computer and a microphone and a camera, you could create this in a few minutes. It didn't even, and what I was expecting it to do when it said provide 2 minutes of video, I thought it would have been scripted. Like it would have told me, hey, you need to say these things or you need to do this to get the outcome.
So it wasn't even a script that it had to hear all the ways you say S's and T's and everything?
No, I just recorded 2 minutes of footage from a couple of weeks ago. And that was it. There was it was just me sitting here doing, sitting in that scene, but there was nothing following any guidance. At all. I think that the walking around one had a bit more structure around it. The only thing it was saying is make sure you're in good lighting and it's quiet and stuff like that. But it's expected if you're going to create a video anyway, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Now that's really quite scary that anyone could be training an AI video avatar without even knowing it if someone has video of you sitting in a quiet spot.
That's correct.
If you've got some video of your boss, you could get them on camera saying that you deserve a pay rise.
100%.
Or your landlord saying, we're going to lower the rent so you can have it on video. That's just wild.
Very big future problem for everybody. So I guess the technology is good as we've worked out here. So then how are we going to use this? So what are going to be some really effective ways that you just think about all the time constraints that you have as a business owner, as a marketer, as an entrepreneur, that, you've got all the other shit you want to be doing, but then you're like, I wish I was creating all this content as well. I wish I had time to create that onboarding process or onboarding course or whatever it is that you want to do. This now gives you that power to do it, because all you need to do is set up for 2 minutes and then you can then start using ChatGPT to help create your onboarding document. So I'd say that that's probably the first instance I'm going to be using it for is starting to help us with a custom onboarding experience for our clients, and being that we can then incorporate dynamic fields into it, so we could make sure that's pulling the data, say, from HubSpot, our CRM, the customer, our client's name. It can then tailor the content to actually be talking to them. So it is going to look like a very tailored piece of content for each person.
So I see it splitting into two categories of use. The version where you upload your own audio, where something needs to be clear enough and well presented enough that you would spend the time to record your own audio. And then the dynamic video generation, which can be used from your text being added, where you've trained an avatar and you've got people in your marketing team or other people making videos on your behalf, even automating that process through HubSpot or your lead generation platforms, like you said, adding those dynamic fields. But just coming back to the high quality, and I say high quality, but the other version is still quite believable, but the high quality version where you've recorded the audio, maybe that's a voice recording or a screen recording that you've done and you wanted to add your picture in the bottom corner presenting to camera of like a Loom video or a training video, but you never recorded anything. You just recorded yourself, your screen, while you move things around and recorded the audio. Enhancing so many potential videos that you have an audio message after you've met a client and you just wanted to send them a video wrap up. You could create that audio message and just load it in and create a video from that in situ in the studio where it looks quite amazing, but it's still using your voice. Then there's presentations for events or presentations that you wanted to record and host as a webinar, let's say. Those sorts of things are possible where it doesn't require that dynamic insertion of many different variables.
That's a video I would actually use in a marketing campaign. I can't see any reason why you wouldn't be able to use, well, not that actual video, but the quality of video is something that I would be comfortable putting out in terms of campaigns.
But then there's the high volume stuff, which is,
sales outreach, like mass volume sales outreach. Like imagine you went to an event and then you were able to send a personalized video to every single person at that event in their inbox 5 minutes later.
Absolutely.
And that's all you're going to be doing is pulling from HubSpot or your CRM and then having a pre-written script and then just being able to send that out to everybody. Like, I think that would just be such a powerful personal touch because, I mean, to be honest, they're not going to know it was fucking AI generated, but I mean, it might be worthwhile mentioning it, but just shows an additional level of, I guess, personalization to that experience that you've had with these people.
I think immediately it's going to be impressive as marketing agencies if we start including this sort of stuff in our marketing to prospective clients, because that's probably the first place you'd expect to see it, that cutting edge marketing and video generation. I'm even thinking an example for a university that we work with. We do a lot of their email marketing automation. Imagine following an open day, everyone who attended and who they know what sort of university course they were considering, having a dynamic video from the lecturers or the key people at the event. Hell, even if you captured video at a stall at the event of the prospective student themselves and then dynamically created a video of them talking back to them.
Yeah, I think filming students might get you in a bit of trouble there.
Well, if they're at least university students. But if they're interested in that type of field and you said, ask them to participate in this thing, imagine getting a video of you from the future saying, I'm you, if you've joined this, if you signed up to this university degree, this is what you could experience. And how weird getting a video of you saying something else back to them.
That's right.
That could be a reason to attract people over at conferences and market stalls and things like that, because everyone's looking for those reasons to bring someone over and attract them to talk to you at a booth or something like that.
Client acquisition strategy, I mean, we were just talking about before, the use case, so you could integrate into Shopify. And then you could be like, hey, thanks for your purchase. Really happy that you're now a customer of ours. We'd love if you could give us a review. Like something like that. And that looks personalized from the owner of the Shopify store. More likely to go and jump on and give those guys a review than I would if I just get a generic Yotpo email that says, hey, rate us out of 5. I mean, that's sort of the kind of stuff that I feel that people should start taking advantage of now, because we're going to see it everywhere.
Absolutely. And the power of that video, that post-purchase video that is either recommending new products or asking for a review that says your name and what you ordered, it will be much more powerful than just a generic request video for a review. The power of that personalization in video is going to make the sort of the watch percentages and the watch completion, but also the engagement rates peak through the roof. If we see this volume of improvement from a static image ad to a video ad, imagine a tailored and customized video ad to an existing customer. It's going to, the potential is endless.
It is, isn't it? I mean, just a thought then as well is in terms of upsell opportunities. You could have on your post-purchase email, hi, I'm, whatever, owner of store. I just noticed you've just bought this. If you buy this right now in the next 24 hours, we know, we'll give you a discount. And using your AI, knowing if someone does buy this, they're likely to purchase this one, and just inserting those products into it dynamically based on the product that they're buying. Again, it's just another massive way to increase your average order value. And personalized.
I think the other thing you mentioned at the beginning was lead and prospect nurturing, or prospect, warming prospects up to have a higher likelihood at conversion. But that would need to be prospects who'd already given their email address. Let's say in a B2B environment, someone's contacted Walker Hill Digital via the website. We talked about an AI calling bot a few weeks ago. This could be an automated video that is sent to them via email introducing James or the employee at Walker Hill Digital that's going to speak to them in the meeting, introducing a little bit of background about the company and its size and structure and what it does and how it's different. Not replacing that first meeting, but getting people excited for that first meeting so that when they come into the first presentation or the discovery meeting with you guys, or with Nous or with any B2B service, they're already a little bit further sold or excited about what they're going to hear. You can get straight into, what they need and understanding their specific issues, and you be ahead of the other one or two agencies that they're probably looking at.
Definitely.
People will think, I want my marketing to be like that.
Yes.
I want to have that in my marketing. I've never experienced anything like that before, but that's that first mover advantage.
It is.
You need to get in sooner rather than later.
Yeah, well, I really feel like this is kind of like a bit of a secret weapon at the moment, right? Like at some point, not too far off, it's going to be everywhere. You're not going to be able to believe anything you're seeing that's being video content, whatever. being that how powerful this technology is. So I feel like right now is the time to start getting ahead of it, start using it, because at some point, just like spam on every sort of scale, you are using this at mass, sort of at a mass level in terms of, say, I don't know, whatever. If you're trying to use this on a way to accelerate your growth on sales or whatever, you want to sort of be the first one doing it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's just going to be like, oh, it's another one of those AI guys that are just done the same thing. Like when you get, remember you used to get emails and it used to be like, hi, sir. I still get quite a few of those emails, but now it's actually, hi, James. You know, like, and that personalization got into emails, and now it's just the normal. If someone doesn't say that, you're kind of annoyed.
I still get from salespeople where they've got taken one photo 4 years ago of them holding 2 coffees, and one has my name on it, dynamically inserted.
Yeah, it was cool.
It was cool then, and now I'm like, there's no coffee. You're not even in this city.
No.
This will have that, first to market advantage or first mover advantage, while people aren't picking up on it that it is fake or auto generated.
And so I guess the thinking about, the technology is cool. We know these are some use cases for it, but what are the concerns around this? Like, I already know when I'm uploading stuff on YouTube, there's a button now that says, has any of this content been AI generated? Which for the first time, we're going to have to tick when we're uploading this into YouTube. It's going to be interesting to see how YouTube deals with that in terms of, are we going to get in front of anybody when we're uploading this video?
Yeah, that's
because
right.
It is using AI generated content. I know that on social media platforms, they're also labeling any AI generated content as AI. So
will that limit the effectiveness?
Yes.
Because that's one other use case that we didn't really delve into yet, which was ads and organic social calendars. For the clients, like a home builder, let's say, where it's really difficult to get that person, the business owner, in front of the camera a couple of times a month. With them trained, we can just ask it to answer questions and create a social content calendar with our clients, face and video for them, get them to approve it, and then post it. But if it's going to be limited by the social platforms because it's known to be AI generated, is it going to be worth doing?
Yeah, it may not get the reach that you're looking for, and it might be better to actually use other formats. But I guess this is all going to be stuff that we're going to be testing and finding out, how is this going to impact our performance campaigns? Yeah,
and should they limit AI-generated video if it's done for the right reasons or done with the consent of the person pushing the video? It's just another way of recording it.
Yeah, I mean, apart from like just flooding the internet with more junk.
Yeah.
But like, what is the negative? Like, I mean, if you and I wanted to create a promo for this episode right now and we wanted it to be fully AI generated, is that hurting anybody by it being AI generated or by it not being authentically recorded in real life? Like, where does that matter in terms of what people's perception of the value of the content is as well, if it is generated, even though we've taken the time to set it all up, type out the scripts, everything, we just were feeling a bit sick that day and couldn't get in the studio to record it. Like, is that a negative, or should that just get the same reach as a normal piece of content? Like, I guess these are all going to be things that we're going to be discovering is how it's going to be handled.
Yeah, isn't that a way or an approach that we can use to release much more content than we would have been able to?
Yeah, well, that was actually a piece of on the HeyGen thing, is like uploading blogs. So every single blog on your website, you could just have you reading out the whole blog content, throwing it on your YouTube channel, and there's a whole bunch of content that you could be uploading that potentially could be very good content if you're really happy with the content of your blogs.
Yeah, your blog, it might not be that conversational, but I think there is that truth element, or that people not wanting to feel duped. If you are reading out blog content, you might want to highlight that this is an AI avatar. So when it gets to the part of a blog sentence that doesn't feel like the way you would speak, people aren't figuring it out for themselves.
Yeah.
But for what you showed me in the video introduction, I don't see any reason to say, I'm an AI bot, or in a presentation, or, I mean, learning and online training course materials. Yeah. Incredible. No one needs this is an AI, so
don't believe it. Like, if the information's wrong, it's
just helping you engage in a better way because there's someone talking to you.
100%. I'm more excited about this than any other AI. Well, I mean, Bland was great. That was one that we really are testing at the moment as well. But I think that this one just adds a whole nother level. Imagine when you can do both.
Yeah.
Imagine when you can use the AI that's plugged into all your website content, and then you're using that as your customer support officer.
Yeah.
Like, you could have your client success team, and then they're answering questions in video based on a database of information on your website. Like, that's just going to take what Bland's doing to the next level if they throw AI into, like, the video avatar into that.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we've talked about a lot of use cases today, but the integration and the fueling your marketing automation platform to send the right video about the right content, covering off exactly what that prospect or existing client or past client needs to see at that moment, is where I can see huge potential for brands trying to convert, keep, or grow the spend of their clients.
Yeah. So we're going to create a AI outro for this episode and try and work out which one, Brian or I, are the AI generated and who isn't, and hope that it is able to fool everybody, because, I mean, this technology is looking like it probably could from what we've seen.
Yeah, comment below who you think it is.
So that wraps it up for this week. I really enjoyed testing HeyGen and its AI-generated video avatar. The possibilities do seem to be endless for marketers, and the world of AI tools is really starting to explode in terms of what's going to be possible for marketers going forward. While it's a little bit scary, it's still very, very cool.
私はこの新しいテクノロジーとそれがマーケティング担当者にもたらすチャンスにとても興奮しています。
See you next week. Please hit the subscribe button or share this content if you're finding it useful. And we'll see you with some brand news for Digital Horizons later this week.
ご清聴ありがとうございました。